Here we are. Hi. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope you're all having a beautiful day. Let me just slightly fix the... In truth, my camera is on the wonk here, but it makes it look like my mat is, and it's easier to adjust my mat than to try and square up the camera, which is up here. Hello. Anyways, let me say hi to chat. Hello, Silly. Welcome in. Hello, Sen. Welcome, welcome. Lovely to see you. Hello. I sketched a thing. I don't know if this is the best sketch for the paper that I've got, but you know what? I'm just going to go with it because it's what I sketched. It's either that or we start from scratch. And I just don't think that sketching things is the most interesting thing for me to do on stream. I would rather get color in. Otherwise, I feel like it's not a lot to look at. Anyways. Never mind. Hi. I've got some of this hot press paper that I accidentally bought like a butt ton of, thinking that it was cold pressed because I'm a goofball that I don't like as much as my cold press paper. So I'm going to use it to like swatch out the paint and do some test sort of swirlies and things. Obviously it's going to behave a little bit differently because it's different paper, but at least I'll get, somewhat of an impression without using the good paper for tests. Anyways. Hi everybody, welcome in. Hello Turnip, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? It is wonderful to see you as well. Hope you're having a good Thursday. I had a cup of coffee before we started, as you may be able to tell. I sipped it a little too quickly because I wanted to finish it before we got started, and that triggered a headache. So I'm hoping that the fact that neither of the teas that I made myself have caffeine should assist with that. In the Moomin mug, we have, this is a triple mint tea, so it's got 3 kinds of mint, and my other tea is a spiced cranberry situation. Anyways, Ultraplex, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? Wonderful to see you. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. How have you been? It's very nice to be here. So I've got some funky new paints that we're going to test out today inside this magical box. I also wanted to share an entry from my sketchbook. Oh, also Turnip, thank you so much for the lurk. Much appreciated. I wanted to share an entry from my sketchbook that I did yesterday. Not because it's great. It's fine. But crucially, yesterday I took my sketchbook with me out into the world. I sat down at a little coffee shop in my neighborhood with a nice large cup of coffee. I wanted to do some kind of sketchy, having absolutely, no idea what I wanted to draw, and 2, I brought a pencil but not an eraser, so it was kind of like, well, if any goofs happen here, that's just going to be the way it is. So I knew whatever was going to come out was going to be a little bit wiggity wonky. And I feel like that's fine. I get a lot of suggested posts in my Instagram feed now that they've switched off the ability for me to snooze suggested posts. It makes me so mad. But a lot of artists like sketchbook content, and I think it can be quite interesting and quite illustrative to see how other artists use their sketchbooks. But then sometimes an artist will post something and it's just like, here's a tour of my sketchbook, and their sketchbook is just a whole bunch of like functionally perfect, fully rendered paintings, and I'm like, where do you do your ugly squiggles? Like your bad practice. Where do you just futz around with stuff? Because all of these are really polished and good. I don't understand. This isn't what a sketchbook is for, I didn't think. You're just doing good paintings, but inside a book. Anyways, I'm not complaining about how other people choose to do their art practice. It's hard to fight the mild sense of, what is the word I seek? Inadequacy. When pages of my sketchbook are like, here's a house plant, a tiny sketch of a butt, and then a frog with a man's head, and a thing that I scribbled out because I decided I didn't think it was very good and I didn't know what to do about it. But I didn't like looking at it. Also, the first page is a butt, so the book is pre-ruined. So anything I do in it doesn't matter because the book is ruined. There's nothing aesthetic about this sketchbook apart from the beautiful Magritte painting on the cover. But anyways, so yesterday I decided that I had unearthed these 3 Posca markers that I have. I own 3 Posca pens, and I've never used them. I bought them on clearance because Posca pens are not the cheapest of, like, marker-y paint pen situations out there, but they're very good. and I wanted to try them, but I was like, I can't afford to buy like a whole ass array of colors of these things. What if it turns out I really hate working with them? That's going to be a massive waste of money. So I got three colors that happened to be on clearance, and they were sort of like a minty turquoise, a dark purple, and a sort of like lilac lavendery type color. And so yesterday, going out with a pencil but no eraser and absolutely no plan, completely no thoughts, head empty, I made this. Um, and it's yup. it's fine. I think it's fine, but that's what the sketchbook is for. The sketchbook is where the jank lives, so it's okay if this is jank, is my feeling. But I did enjoy working with the Posca pens. I think they more or less work okay in this sketchbook. This sketchbook was not designed to be a sketchbook. This sketchbook was designed for, like, writing things down, but F that. I was like, no, I'm going to use this to put art. So I'm using it to put art, but it does bleed through a little bit into the other side in a couple of places, which I don't super love. I find it really hard to use the opposite sides of the sketchbook because the paper is just translucent enough that you can kind of see the sketch behind it. And so I don't want to like ruin sketches by them having ghosts inside them of other artworks. So yeah, anyway, so that's what I drew yesterday, just in case anyone's curious. It is this, I think parts of it are cute. I think the little guy is sort of going for a swim in the cup of tea is quite a fun concept, but and these were originally just going to be sort of like steam rising from the hot teacup, and I was like, oh, what if I just mirrored the like vintage floral design of the teacup into the steam coming off of it, and that's how we came up with this stupid concept anyways. So that's a new way that I used my sketchbook, so that was fun. But today I've got this little sketchy do that I wanted to test out some new paints on, namely inside the box. This isn't an exciting unboxing because I've already opened it, but I've got these five paints. They are the super granulating watercolors from Schmink. And I got what I hoped would be a fairly comprehensive array of 5 colors, because 5 colors is how much I decided I could afford, because these things are not cheap. So we don't have a ton of colors to work with, but I do know how to mix colors together, so hopefully that'll give us a little bit more like range and stuff. So I shall try. So I'm gonna unwrap these. I only unwrapped one of them to see what it looked like on the inside, and the answer is, oh no, why is the paper stuck to it? Oh no. Just peel that off. It looks like a thingy of paint that the wrapper stuck to a little bit. Yay! Alright. I wish I had I don't have like a little case for them, so they're just kind of floating around, but oh well. I'll figure it out. But so there's and I need to hold on to these as well, because these all have the names of the colors, so I'll probably just try and like wrap them back up when I'm not using them. But this one is Desert Yellow, and I tried to pick colors that I just thought looked pretty as well, but was like a nice range of them. Anyways, so I'm gonna unbox these little guys. Also trying to be mindful of like what's the transparency of each of these, what's the light fastness of each of these, because I like a bit of light fastness, and I like a bit of, you know, I like to know how opaque my paints are going to be. So this is Tundra Orange. So we're going across a lot of different types of landscapes as well, because I didn't want to just pick ones from a single range, because I have no attention span. I'm going to take a sip of my tea, and I'm going to ask y'all, how's your Thursday going? How's your week been? What you been up to? I hope you're having a good one. I'm given to understand there may be some dropped frames happening, which is oh no. Oh, you are kidding me. Oh, it's doing the thing again. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, everybody. Are we back? Is it working? Are we back, and is it working? Oh, stream no, says Sen. Flip. Yeah, so that was a thing that happened. We should be live. We should be live. You see a tech difficulty screen. Hopefully you can hear me as well. Fingers crossed you can also hear me. My mic should be doing a thing. Anyways, I'm gonna pop in. Can you hear me? A fingies crossed. And we'll pop back onto. Oh, why are you? Hold up. We're in portrait. I never want to be in portrait mode. I'm painting a landscape. Unbelievable. Anyways, because Stream did a reboot. Thank you, Stream. It now says I have no viewers, which is really stressful and makes me feel a little bit sad. So hopefully people are here, but I cannot tell because it bumps the numbers back down to no numbers, which please. Oh geez. Okay. Anyways, well, Sen is in chat at least, so there's at least one person here. To which end I shall continue streaming. All right. So we've got desert yellow, tundra orange, galaxy pink, which looks really sort of like oxblood. In this, at least. This is a really browny orange from the looks of it. This is a really browny yellow. This is a very oxblood pink. Then I've got, this is deep sea violet, but it's one of those like violet situations where, fun. It's I would say it's blue. I would call this blue. More so than violet. It's very much on the so far onto the blue end of violet that it's basically just blue. But some of the names of some of these colors, from what I've seen, at least in like pictures of them, feels a bit like, are you sure that's blue? Are you sure that's violet? Because they call this violet, but it really is quite a blue, I think. Like, I could use this for a sky and it wouldn't look amiss. Anyways, gonna catch up with chat while I unwrap this little baby. Had a dentist appointment, says Sen, today, and I conquered the con blues so I can hopefully tackle some things again like drawing. Hell yeah, love that for you. Okay, this color looks, I don't know, like a grayish brown? I'm very confused by the colors of these, but then again, the colors in the pans often don't fully reflect the colors that the paint's gonna be, so like whatever. Anyways, but happy to hear that you are getting up to some stuff. I hope that your tooth doctor went well, and drawing sounds like a great idea, as always. And this goes for anyone who's in chat or who's hanging out watching the stream. I am going to pop a link to the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you can join the Discord. You get to find out when I'm streaming. You get to let us know when you're streaming. If you do any sort of like creative works, you can share them with us there. We love to see them. I love seeing what everyone gets up to. Minty. Very, very minty. Good. Anyways. Also another doctor's appointment tomorrow. Since my right foot has some feelings of numbness and I want to get that checked out. Fingers crossed everything's okay. If hopefully it's just a case of try swapping out your shoes. I say this as somebody who many years ago had a problem with numbness in one of my feet. Then the seasons changed and I stopped wearing the like sandals that I'd been wearing most days. And switched to a pair of much less ergonomic, much less, like, good for your posture / feet, pair of, like, Chelsea boots with, like, a 2-inch Cuban heel and pointed toes and stuff, and, my foot just got better within, like, 2 weeks, and it was like, oh, so I was just wearing the wrong shoes. Okay. Oh my gosh, Mark, hello! Welcome into the me talking about my former foot problem stream. How's it going, Mark? Welcome in, everybody. Hello, Raiders. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. And a welcome on in. Hello, hello. I just realized that I didn't hear the notification because my sound was off, so I've corrected this. But yeah, Mark, how was your stream? It's lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. Also, hello, Delinear. Hello, Dr. Gagney. Hello, friends. How is it going? How is your stream? Lovely to see you. Let me get a shout out from Mark in the chat. And thank you once again for the raid. For anyone who's new here, hello. My name is Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I stream art streams on Mondays and Thursdays. I stream cozy game streams on Fridays. And this week also on Sunday as well. We're going to be playing Snufkin Melody of Moomin Valley for the first time. And I'm very, very, very excited to check it out. Oh, goodness gracious. But today I'm unboxing a new set of watercolors that I've got. And I'm going to be painting this little landscape with these little dudes in it. I think it's going to be a fun time. But yeah. Mark says, I was playing Slay the Spire because I love Slay the Spire, and Slay the Spire 2 got announced yesterday, and ooh, exciting times. That's awesome. I hope that it is every bit as good as Slay the Spire 1, if not even better. Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. I love that for you. Hell yeah. Allow me to, if I may, introduce myself by way of something that is a painting that's done. That's something I painted, if I may. And it's my stream, so I guess I don't really have to ask for permission. But anyways, here's something that I painted recently. This took a cumulative month's worth of art streams to do, with all of the dang books in it, and the sketching them in, the painting them in, the details, the line weight, the shading. Oh, it's making my head ache worse just thinking about it. This took absolutely flippin' forever, but it was a lot of fun to do. But I'm a traditional artist doing mainly watercolors and other similar sort of wet media. We're doing some watercolors today. I've done a number of these portraits of little guys because I have an original art tier on my Patreon now, where you can get a portrait of a little guy, such as this lass, or Terry the Forg Mage, or what have you. Is a fun time, and it's the kind of stupid shenanigans that we do here. I like cryptids and little friends. Anyways, that's me. We're back. Skelly friend, says Mark. Hell yeah, I like Skelly friend. Aw, you know what? If she had capillaries and skin on her face, she would be blushing. Thank you, Mark. That's really sweet. Let me get another shout out for you in the chat as well. And thank you once again for the raid. I really appreciate it. Thank you for entrusting me with your lovely people. There you go. Anyways, how is everybody doing? How have your weeks been? What are you up to today? I would love to hear all about it. I'm debuting this set of paints, which I have not used at all yet because I'm literally just now unwrapping them. Very excited. Probably disproportionately so. I've only got 5 of these because they were, for me, an artist who doesn't make a lot of money, quite expensive. So we've got, this is Desert Yellow, Tundra Orange, Galaxy Pink, Deep Sea Violet, which honestly looks kind of like darker brown / black, but they tell me it just looks blue to me. And this is Shire Blue, which again is a very green looking blue from the example that they give. Anyways, Mark says, always love to raid and chill here post streams. It's such a warm and lovely chill vibe. Oh, Mark, that's really sweet. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. Hell yeah. Okay. Ooh. Shire Blue. It's showing up very dark on screen, but it is like, it really is a deep teal green. At least the pan of it is a deep teal green. So, Shire Blue, mild shenanigans on the naming conventions here, but you know, these paints are really interesting. Because as I understand what they are basically is, they're super granulation watercolor paints. So what they've done is they've taken 2 like pigments that granulate a lot when you put them on to paper, especially like a cold pressed paper like this that has a rougher texture. Let me see if I can find a good example of some granulation in paint so you can see kind of what I'm talking about. Oh, actually, you know what? Okay. This is really stupid, but if you look at the background here of the technical difficulties screen, you see that sort of very tangible texture in the background. That's granulation. So that's the kind of texture we're looking to get from this. Oh, not that one, this one. Okay. So very, very excited to see how these actually shake out. I should have brought a pen with me over here. Is there any pen? I do have a pen, actually. I've got a pen. Anana. My dear friend Anana, the Lego pineapple who holds the paintbrushes here on stream. We did actually do some official stream art of Anana as well. He's an emote now, and he's also a stream sticker. Also, oh yeah, I also I did 2 new stream stickers over the weekend that are both related to Hollow Knight, which is what we play most Fridays these days on stream. So, yeah, anyways. Anywho. Mark says, it looks really good. Congratulations. Thank you. Samantha says, super granulation. Is that what you use to paint the puppets for Super Marionation? Yes. Yes, absolutely. I love that. That's amazing. Also, hi, Samantha. Welcome in. How are you doing? It is lovely to see you. Hello, hello. Mark says, les ananas ne parlent pas. But this ananas does sometimes. For anyone who does not speak any French, that is pineapples do not speak. And it is a famous line from episode 1 of TV's Télé Français, which is where the kernel for ananas here comes from. Oh no! Apparently my moderator/spouse has a 20-minute wait for the bus. I need to text him some hug emojis. And how many emojis can you send in a single text message? I feel like this is an appropriate number. So there it goes. Anyways. Mais non, says Mark. Ce n'est pas possible. Well, you know, anything's possible if you use your imagination or something. Except in French. Anyways. I don't get to speak French very often these days. Obviously, as you can tell by my accent, I do come from le Canada, the beautiful country of Canada. I will be returning to it at the end of next month for a little bit for my significant year of a birthday. Let's not dwell on how significant that year is, or I will, my existential crisis about it will arrive early, and nobody wants that to happen on stream. But I'm gonna pop just this nice blank piece of paper here. So I've got my pen so I can label what the names of all of these colors are, because otherwise I will forget. Not us being Canadian kids from the 80s. Hell yeah, Mark. Hell yeah. Oh my goodness, it is very true though. Tee. The kind of blessed content that we grew up with. Anyways. So yeah, because I live in the United Kingdom now, I don't really have a lot of opportunities to like flex my francophone muscles anymore. There's not a lot of locally sourced French media for me to consume. And I don't ever need to speak it. So, believe me when I tell you how absolutely delighted I was when I visited Belgium for a few days last year, and I was completely intelligible and understood all of the things that people were saying to me when they were speaking in French. Felt real good. Of course, we were in a big city, so a lot of people just, like, I think heard my partner and I speaking English and would just be like, hello! I was like, oh, okay, hi. But yeah, anyways. Hello, Aoife. Welcome on in. How are you doing? It is very, very wonderful to see you. Welcome, welcome. We're testing some paints. Like a champ. I've never used these before. These are brand new. I am very nervous. I'm so nervous. But I'm dipping in. Oh, there's a big blobby of water on my brush. So I'm just gonna wet this down a tittle smidge. And I'm gonna start swatching it in and seeing how does it behave, how does it look, what color is it actually, you know, all that stuff. Obviously, it is gonna look a little bit different because this is the less good paper that I don't like as much, but hey. I think we can still get a reasonable impression of it, I hope. Anyways. Doing okay, says Aoife. Have you not been streaming much lately, or did I just randomly never catch your streams? I've been pretty much on the same stream schedule as usual, Aoife, except, Easter weekend, I did take a couple of days off because we were busy doing Easter weekend activities. But apart from that, no, pretty normal actually. And in fact, I will be streaming an extra day this week because I'm doing a surprise Sunday stream because I really want to play the Snufkin game, and I finally have, or at least thought that I had an available Sunday to do it. So yeah. Anyways, Mark is lurking to eat lunch and do some work and chill. Have a lovely, lovely lurk, Mark, and thank you once again for the stream the stream raid. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna pop just one more shout out for Mark in the chat if I can get it to work. That would be rad. There we go. Aoife says, okay, so just never caught you by some chance. I guess not. I don't know. But also, on the other hand, what is time? Because it doesn't feel like that long ago the last time I saw you on stream. So, question marks. I have no idea. Anyways. Can I get a little bit more thickness onto this? Perchance. Just a little bit more. Okay. Okay, well that is an unattractive blob. Little blobbit of paint. But hopefully it gives us a reasonable idea of what... Oh, which one was this? This is Desert Yellow? I think this was Desert Yellow. There were basically, I think, two properly yellow looking colors in the range that I could see. There was this one, and then there was Volcano Yellow, which was a much more sort of straight ahead, like very bright yellow. Like something closer to like this, right? And I thought, well, that's a little bit, considering that all of the other colors that I have are kind of muted, and I want to be able to use it for like sort of landscapey type stuff. I'd rather something that feels a little bit more sort of subtle and natural kind of thing. So this works well for me. Maybe just a brain thing then. Says Eva, yeah, no worries at all. No worries. Anyways, it's nice to have you here now. And I'm gonna write in Desert Yellow. There we go. I might just doot around and actually paint some stuff with these, just some little like shapes or something, just to kind of get an idea of how they look when they're a little bit bigger. But how do I feel about the... I mean, this is... I feel like this paper is probably way too smooth to get a really good idea of how these, like, will granulate, but whatever. I don't want to... I don't want to waste my good paper on a swatch, okay? Anyways. Maybe I can use the back of, like, a terrible drawing time canvas. That's not a terrible idea, actually. I could just use the back of a terrible drawing time canvas as well. Oh, this one has such a smooth little sort of like circle of paint at the top of it that it almost feels bad to like ruin it, but here we are. They are made to be ruined. Because I want to see what they look like. I always feel kind of, when I have like beautiful pristine art supplies, you know, like a completely unused sketchbook, for instance, or like paints I've never used or something like that. I always feel a little bit bad about actually using them, because I'm like, oh, it looks so beautiful and perfect, and it's gonna be all like ruined and gross by the time I'm done with it. Oh no. But I'm trying to force myself to get over that here. Because these were like £7 each. Which is, considering that, you know, like other paint sets that I have are like a dozen paints. And it cost me like £20 or just under £20 for a set of a dozen paints of this size. This feels rather expensive to me. So, yay! So you're gonna paint that Anana from TV, says Aoife. I've already painted Anana. I painted Anana on stream. There's a VOD of that up on the VOD channel. Incidentally, in case anybody missed it, I do have a VOD channel on YouTube. It's just where the VODs from this stream go to die. I don't expect that the stream VODs, honestly, are super watchable, but if you wanted to for some reason, there's not a ton of incentive for me apart from I've had a couple of requests from lovely members of the community asking if I have a VOD channel. And so I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna make a VOD channel. It's not monetized or anything, but if you want it, it's there. Anyways, I was here for that, says Aoife. I was thinking because of chat when I came in. Yeah, no, we were just, I was introducing Anana to anyone who was new to the stream because we had a raid come in, and some new chatters. So I wanted to introduce him for anyone who might otherwise be confused as to what the heck I'm talking about when I'm talking about Anana, because he's just kind of off in the corner over here. But I can show you the sketch we're working on today, actually. It is this. So it's a little landscape, but I could not resist putting little guys in it. So they've got a little cottage here, and there's going to be a little, like, sort of garden patch on this side, and this one has harvested, like, a big basket of strawberries, and so he's holding the big basket of strawberries, and this one's just hanging out with a little cup of tea kind of thing. So, yeah. Just some silliness, but I think it'll be useful to see how these paints work for me for, like, a bigger kind of, like, larger sections of, like, landscaping, as well as getting a little bit more granular with teeny tiny details and how well they play in both arenas, because these paints are supposedly weird. I'm not getting a lot of, they're supposed to kind of, some of them do quite a bit of, like, color shifting because of the blend of pigments that was used to create the colors. I'm not seeing a lot of color shift in these first two, though. They're quite straight ahead, just the color that they are, which I don't mind, but I'll be really interested to see how the colors actually play out when we're painting with them properly. This is Tundra Orange. Feel free to hate my terrible penmanship. My penmanship is not good. I think hampered by the fact that I am left-handed, and also my brain is deeply special, which I'm given to understand affects your handwriting, or can anyways. I tell you what, when I was in primary school, let's talk about school, but when I was in primary school, I was so jealous of, like, the girls who all had that, like, super cute, really, like, rounded, extremely legible handwriting, and my penmanship has always been very, like this. There is nothing feminine about my penmanship, and I think, you know what, flash forward a couple of years, and I'm like, huh, yeah, no, that tracks. Anyways. Anywho. Aoife says there was an Austrian painter that was somewhat famous and actually lived a couple houses down from the house I was born in. Ooh, what's their name? What sort of thing did they do? I would love to hear about it. Alright, we're picking up... This is Galaxy Pink. Let's see how much pinker it looks than the oxblood it looks in the little pan here. Ooh, okay. It already looks really cool on the brush, which is super fun. I love that. I love that a lot. Okay, I picked up a lot of paint because this looks super dark. Oh, geez. Okay. Alright, okay. I actually kind of like to see how it fades down, so just added some water to the brush because that is very opaque. Very opaque, in fact. Can I get a little bit of a gradient here? Oh, I can't because there's too much paint on it. Oh no, I'm gonna have to try and pick some back up, I think. Where is my... Oh no, do I not have any tissue paper? I have a tiny amount of tissue paper. He always puts little dudes in his painting, and I'm pretty sure, like, he paints little guys? Oh, I love him already! Oh, that's super cool. His name is Gottfried Kumpf. Oh, I've got to look this guy up. I love him already. Tee-hee, tee-hee. Okay. Okay. Made a nice little gradient there for me so I can see how the pale pink goes into the very nice sort of deep pink there. It's a nice sort of burgundy pink. It's not like super bright magenta, but that's lovely. It's quite subtle. Still not getting a lot of really dramatic color shifting in these, but that's okay. I need to look up this guy. If I can spell correctly, that would be great. Oh, wow! Okay, the first art piece of this guy that actually kind of, this art style looks familiar to me. I feel like I've probably seen some of this guy's work before, maybe. Because that's really, oh, it's, okay, it's, I'm gonna try and zoom it in a bit. It's a little, okay, it's a little low res, but, check it out! This is so good! I love this! Oh my goodness, I'm gonna enjoy just making my way through the works of this dude, because, oh, this is beautiful! I love it! I love his style, it's so whimsical! Look at the, oh my gosh, look at the horsey! This is so good! Oh my gosh, I love these so much. Thank you so much for letting me know about this. That is super awesome that he lived quite close to your house as well. That's amazing. But oh my god, I love his art already. It's so good. It is so good. I'm so pumped to look at more of this man's paintings off stream. Like, damn. That's so cool. That's so cool. I love it. Especially the horsey. I think the horsey was my favorite. Good haunts. 12 out of 10 excellent haunts. Very, very cute. Very whimsy. You know me and whimsy. It's my favoriteest thing. I was in another part of my life yesterday, I created a little sort of like tutorial document to explain how to do, basically how to fill out a form on this one online system that I have to deal with in another portion of my life, and just to help out other people who might need to also use it. I just decided that rather than like giving you verbal instructions on here's how you do it, it would actually just be easier to create a little infographic that anyone can refer to when they need to do the thing. And so, you know, sort of taking screenshots of myself as I go through the process, and then, you know, sort of adding in like text and sort of strategic arrows to tell you this is the thing you need to click on, and this is the information that you need to enter. These are the fields of the form that you can ignore, kind of thing. And then at the end of it, the last step, you have to click, once you've reviewed the information that you've input into the form, you have to click OK, close wizard. Now at this point, I could just say, once you've reviewed the information, click OK, close wizard, and it's done. But instead, I said, once you've reviewed the information and it's all correct, click OK, close wizard. The wizard will then fill out the form for you. The wizard rolls a nat 20. And the form is complete. Why am I allowed to have a job? I don't think I should at this point. Listen, I would simply expire from sorrow if I was not able to inject a little bit of whimsy into my everyday life. You know what I mean? Like, I would simply cease to be. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Anyways, Eva says, when you said you couldn't help put some little dudes, and I instantly thought of him and realized he would totally be your thing. I loved it. It was so good. I'm very looking forward to looking at more of this guy's work later. I very much like the whimsy. Okay, that is Galaxy Pink, and it is very pretty. I'm so far quite pleased with the array of colors that I've got. Now I say I picked a representative sample of colors, but the way that I kind of chose these specific colors was I literally just took the number of paint colors that were available and just sort of rolled random numbers from a random number generator until I got a range of what I felt like was a reasonable spectrum of colors. So you deserve a promotion. That's what I got from that story. Aoife, I wholeheartedly agree. I don't get paid enough. Like, I just don't. Ernesto, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in. Hello, hello, and thank you. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a lovely Thursday. I've already forgotten what the name of this color is. I think this was a purple. This was a purpley blue. What did they call it? Because they called it like a violet, and I was like, shenanigans, because it looked like blue to me. This is deep sea violet. Okay. And then the last one is Shire blue, apparently. But honestly looks pretty green to me. Oh, okay. This doesn't look as blue as I was expecting, actually. It is quite purpley. But it's definitely a bluey purple. I think it toes a line where it can kind of go in either direction a little bit. So that's kind of cool. I once again put too much paint on it and it's too wet, so I'm dabbing some water off of my brush, and then I'm going to kind of just pick some of this up a little bit, I think. And then just try and blend it out. To try and get something of a representative gradient here. Shouldn't be this complicated, but it's me, and these paints are new, and I've never used them before. I do note where the paint is quite dark, it does look pretty opaque. Not so much the yellow one, but the orange and the pink. Reasonable amount of opacity, actually. Not super transparent, but we will test and see how they layer in terms of transparency as well, because I'm curious. This is definitely a little bit purpler than I was expecting. It's still a very bluey purple, but it's also a quite grayish purple. Like, it's quite grayish just as a color, which is interesting. Deep Sea Violet. My handwriting is getting worse as we go, so that's super fun. Love that for me. Gonna clean this off a little bit more. And gonna take a sip of my tea, which is this is super basic. It's just a blend of peppermint, spearmint, and field mint that I got from the supermarket because I like mint. And I feel like I need to be drinking more mint tea. It's good for your well-being. It's good for your tum-tum and your stress, I think. And you know, it's tasty too. I wonder if I have any ibuprofens in the house. I think I've run out, which is really bad. Oh no. Anyways, it's fine. Maybe I'll make myself a Builders on sort of midstream break and see if that helps. Sometimes I find a bit of caffeine is actually quite good for headaches. Okay. Gonna try not to pick up an excess of Shire blue. This is blue, but I honestly think that the paint pan looks like a deep teal. So we'll see whether or not that pans out. This is teal. Excuse you, Shire blue, my foot. This is teal. Unambiguously teal. I'm not complaining because that's exactly what I expected and wanted out of it, but it's still teal. That is blue. Who named this blue? There's so much greenness in it. Of course, this does beg a question for me, and that question is, how the flip am I going to paint the sky? What color am I going to paint the sky in this landscape? Because none of these paints are properly blue. I think maybe if I just do like a really light wash of these two together, they'll just kind of cancel out into blue. I could try. Oh, this is okay. This one is giving me the color shift I've been waiting for. Look at that. There's like blotches of quite yellowy green. And then elsewhere it's like just straight ahead teal. Like there is some very much separation of pigments going on in this one in particular. Getting a little bit of it as the violet dries down as well, but these three all just feel like they're just a color. Just really interesting. Ooh, pretty, says Sen. I like these. I think they're very fun. I don't know how these are going to play out in a landscape. But, well, I guess if I need to make a more, like, springy, like, foliage green, I can probably mix together the Shire Blue with the Desert Yellow to just add some more yellow into it and make it more green than teal. But yeah. Samantha says, more and more, I'm convinced colors aren't real. Well, you might be right. I mean, isn't it the case that magenta doesn't exist? Isn't there's something funky about magenta in particular? Like, the specific, like, code for magenta is some kind of, there's something weird about magenta not being a real color. I don't remember what exactly. I'm looking it up. Magenta doesn't exist. There is no wavelength of light from magenta, says the first result, which is from someone named Leatrice Eisman, who says there's no wavelength of light for magenta. Instead, we perceive it only when short and long cones pick up a signal from pure red and pure blue light. Our brains literally make up magenta. Is this true, friends? Ah! Definitely potentially lending some real weight to Samantha's assertion that colors aren't real. Apparently violet isn't in a rainbow. Do you mean that whoever came up with the Roy G. Biv acronym for the colors of the rainbow was lying to me? I am shocked and stunned. Shocked and stunned. Incredible. Eva's magenta is basically octarine. Apparently, it is kind of true, but also not, says Samantha. My head hurts. I confess I am not an expert in, like, light science at all. I'm just a little guy who's trying their best. Samantha says, apparently Newton just thought there should be 7 colors in a rainbow because 7 is a special number. I mean, to be fair, the way we've categorized and thought about colors across cultures and time has changed and shifted. If you consider, for instance, most red heads are orange heads. But we don't call them orange, we call it red. Why? Probably something to do with not having a word for orange before we came up with needing a category for gingers. In fairness also, we do also call them ginger, and if you've ever seen a ginger root, the exterior of it is quite a sort of like light brown, and the interior of it is a light yellow. So, not sure where we get ginger from that. Maybe the color of dried ginger, but no, dried ginger is also just kind of a light brown color, like powdered ginger. I'm confuzzed, y'all. I guess, is it the nature of ginger as having that earthy but fiery flavor to it that we think, yes, ginger, even though it actually looks more like this. We don't call like dark blonde-haired people ginger, but to be honest, that's much more accurate. My head hurts. Ow. It genuinely does. I've got a headache today, but never mind. I'm powering through because I love these paints and I love y'all. But geez, Isaac, what are you doing? Anyways, Samantha says, magenta isn't a real color in the same way that the sky isn't really blue, in that the sky looks blue for a different reason to most things that are their color due to pigment. But ultimately the sky is still blue when you look at it. The same effective process happens both ways physicsy stuff happens and you see blue. So magenta doesn't relate to a specific wavelength, but also, no, the color really does, because that just isn't how our eyes work. Aoife says, I feel like wavelength is gradually changing value. But the number of different value-recognizing cells in our eyeballs is a concrete number, so I would argue a rainbow probably has infinitely many colors, we just can't differentiate them that well. I think separating it out into, like, you know, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet is potentially a little bit arbitrary. As we know, there are, you know, if you look at, not to use the word granular even more on a stream where we're testing out super granulation paints, but you can get more granular than just the red, orange, yellow, etc., etc., etc. You can also, you know, you can dial it in further into sort of like, you know, like tertiary color combos beyond that and beyond and beyond until you just have, oh, what's that? A gradient. Instead of separating it out from like red, reddish orange, you know, like a red, orangish red, reddish orange, orange, yellowish orange, orangish yellow, yellow, etc., etc., etc. And then dialing in further beyond that. So what we say is like, you know, it's just, I mean, is this blue? Barely. Right? This one spot of it on the camera looks a little bit blue. To me, this is just teal. But this is the case, I think, of also, you know, sort of where we differentiate what's green and what's blue. Because there is, you know, a gradient, can vary from person to person. Anyway. Pretty watercolor, says Ruby. Hello, Ruby. Welcome on in. First time I ever wanted to eat a paint. Please don't. They were very expensive. I know they look like delicious, delicious sweets, but, they were, like, I would not buy sweets this expensive. Truly, I would not. These were not cheap for sweets. Anyways, your eyes aren't identifying any specific wavelengths. You have 3 different sensors who have peaks at certain wavelengths, but they just relay how much light they're picking up, says Samantha, sending that info to your brain, which then compares the 3 values in 3 specific ways, then interprets those 3 comparisons as color. Our brains are super cool. Our brains are super cool. And this makes my brain hurt a little bit. Like, I understand exactly what you're saying, but just like having to think through the philosophical implications of it is painful. Eva says, I heard only a couple days ago orange was apparently called yellow red or red yellow until the English were confronted with the fruit and then renamed the color. This is presented as concretely an English thing. Perchance, yeah. Samantha says, which is also why my dichromatic vision lacks so much depth of color, because the comparison's happening. Missing one of the 3 sets of sensors means I get 1 comparison instead of 3. So, it's, so it's kind of, yeah. Anyways, Aoife says, that's what I meant. You got 3 different receptors, but wavelengths are a gradual shift outside of our conception. I think being colorblind means I kind of have to deal with the philosophical implications of color vision more. Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, that makes sense. When everyone's like, this thing is, this thing is red, and this thing is, you know, purple, and you're like, well, I can tell they're both different kinds of brown that are generally the browns that other people call red and purple. Or whichever colors it may be. But yes. There is the absolute wizardry that the brain does when, like, with regard to color blindness to compensate for it is also super, super cool to me. If you're familiar with the Drawfee channel on YouTube at all, they're fantastic, very, very cool people, do art stuff that I think is neat. One of the members of Drawfee, a fellow named Jacob, is colorblind and has simply memorized where everything is placed on the color wheel so that he can pick the right colors when he's, like, painting a thing, and I just think that's neat. I just think that's really neat. Because it was a good... Ooh, okay, so as this is drying, I'm seeing, again, these three all just look like the colors that they are. These two are really granulating down in interesting ways. This one, there's a definite, like, greenness as opposed to being just blue. And this one, there's, like... I don't even know what is going on here. There's, like, dark blue and then sort of, like, a sort of brownish... like, a sort of rosy brown backdrop to it. Like, what is this color? This is exactly the thing that I was hoping that it would do, so I'm really happy with this. But also, I don't know which of these colors is going to make a good sky. I'm thinking maybe just a very thin wash of Shire blue and hope for the best. But we'll see. I'm gonna do a couple of little testy tests here. I'm just gonna draw some... I'm just gonna scribble with my paint, with just a little paint, some stupid little flowers. And when I say stupid little flowers, I mean stupid little flowers. Like, I am literally... That's not nearly enough paint. I'm just doing some basic, like, 5-petal situation. Just to see how well it plays. I do like this yellow. It's quite a dirty yellow color. Which I think is quite... It's much more useful, I think, for landscapes than, like, the volcano yellow or something like that would have been, which is more sort of straight ahead. The sky is rally scattering colored, says Samantha. Sure, why not? Interestingly, with regard to sky color, the sky is blue. Nice. And sunsets are red for the exact same reason. Ooh, pretty. But also, yes, that makes sense. Okay, I thought my phone was vibrating because I could hear sort of like a vroot vroot sound, but I think it's coming from, like, a neighboring flat, and it's just a very loud noise, or maybe it's coming from outside. I don't know, but good news is my phone isn't ringing because my phone is what we're filming on. So if someone was calling me right now, sorry friends, I'm live. Anyways. This has all been very interesting conversation that is entirely beyond sort of my brain to discuss in an articulate manner. But I'm trying. Anyways. This desert yellow is quite light. Like, I tried to pick up a reasonable amount of paint, and it's still very kind of... It's quite transparent. It's not the boldest of the bunch, but it's okay, because some of the other ones are super bold. Can I get a little bit more paint on here? There we go. Just literally making a little bunch of the stupidest flowers. Just the stupidest flowers. But I just wanted to see, A, if I can get some more of, like, the granulating effect here by working in a slightly larger section, and also just to kind of see, to maybe do a little bit of layering as well to see how they layer. Thought that could be cool. Here's another one in, what was this? This was Galaxy Pink. There we go. Doot doot. I just want to doot a little more paint into that while it's still wet. It flows really nicely. Cool. I like sometimes with like using very, very wet paints to see the way that you can kind of like move it around and manipulate it while it's still wet. That can be quite fun. And I'm gonna do a little flower in deep sea violet as well, and then I'll actually just do the stems and leaves in Shire blue. And then I will probably sort of layer various ones on top of each other to create the sort of little middle pieces of the flowers. And we'll call it good, I guess. Ooh, I need a wetter brush, please. I need a much wetter brush, apparently, please. There we go. I probably picked up way too much paint here, but whatever. Actually, no, this is fine. This is fine. Okay. Anyways, I shall catch up with chat in just a moment. I did honestly think from the, like, the way it looked in the packaging and sort of the swatching of it, I thought that Deep Sea Violet was going to be bluer than it is, which has kind of made an interesting adventure of my plans. But I mean, I can also, you know, the sky can be whatever color depending on what time of day I decide to set the piece at, and then just sort of temper our other colors around that to reflect what the lighting would be doing. You know, does it need to be a little bit darker? Does it need to sort of have a bit of stronger shadows, that kind of thing? Samantha says the scattering effects short wavelengths more than the scattering affects short wavelengths more than long ones. So during the day, you see mostly the blue end of the spectrum being redirected to your eyes, but at sunset, you're looking across the sky and seeing what's left over after all the blue has been scattered away, leaving the long wavelengths, those are mostly red hues. That's so cool. That's so cool. And thank you for explaining it to... I feel like I used to know this, and it's just been tucked sort of in the archive of my brain because I haven't had to know it for a very, very long time. As you do, apparently. I'm gonna take another sip of my tea. Oh no. It's fine, I got a backup. This one is like a spiced cranberry pie, which I've been drinking a lot of lately because I noticed that it's 4 months out of date. And most of the time I ignore best before end dates on teas because honestly they're dry, and as long as they're stored well, they'll probably be fine. You might lose a little bit of potency of flavor over time, but you know, whatever. But I did actually have to throw away the last of a bag of tea recently because it was the flavor had started to be not good. And I did not enjoy that. So sadly, it had to be discarded. Oh no. Sad. I was quite sad about that. But so it goes sometimes. How is this blue? It's teal. Shenanigans. My goodness. Anyways, sorry to keep complaining about that. It's not a complaint. I bought it specifically because I was like, that doesn't look blue, that looks green. Because I wanted a green paint. And I was correct. Do a nice kind of long leaf there. Ooh, pretty. I like sometimes being able to just kind of move paint around a little bit when it's wet. Anyways, love me some shenanigans, says Sen. Also, don't forget the hijinks. Oh, as if I could ever forget hijinks. Hijinks are the best. Also, you know, honestly, not to be controversial or anything, but I'm also quite a fan of tomfoolery sometimes. I think Mr. Foolery can be quite a lot of fun. this green slash blue in quotations paint really seems to vary in terms of whether it wants to be green or blue, depending on what bits of it I seem to have picked up. Sen says, oh yes, especially if you're fresh out of adventures. Dr. Thomas Foolery, says Mark. Yes. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. Okay, that's that. Actually gonna... There's quite a lot of paint on that bit of stem coming off of the violet thing, so I'm gonna put a little more onto there, because there's too much here. Can I lift some of this so it's not quite so opaque? Yay, I super can. Okay, cool. It's so green. Like, how is that blue? You don't make plant stems out of blue. I see a colleague of the esteemed Dr. Stein. Frankenstein. Oh. 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 Okay, I think the paint is still a little bit wet, so it's probably too soon to pop some centers onto these flowers, but you know what? How about I do it anyway? It's just gonna be a little bit messy. Like, whatever. That one is green. And I think I might pop some pink in the center of this guy for funsies. I just kind of want to see how they layer and sort of sit together. It does lift a little bit, I think. A little bit it seems to lift. It might be because it's still slightly damp. Maybe I should have waited a little bit longer. I don't know. But never mind. Here we are. I'll do some purple in the middle of you. 'Cause why not? For funsies. Oh, that's dark. Heck. That's just very dark. Okay. Can I extricate a little bit of that? Just water it down a little bit so it's a little bit more transparent. Yes, I can. Oh, fun. Okay, cool. This is look at my beautiful finished painting here. Wow. It's so silly. I prefer their other colleague, Dr. Furter, says Samantha. Teehee, teehee. Sen's on their way to go get food. Have a lovely food. Hope it's delightful. Okay. So I am putting some of the green blue on top of the blurple because I want to see what happens. So the layering seems to be decent, which is good for things like line weight. Wow. Okay, so the green on top of the violet has just gone like super green. Like it's just like mega green. Like where did the violet go? This is just green. This is even greener. What the heck? It's just turned it yellow. That's okay. Interesting. I'm going to try one more thing. And that is, I'm going to use my palette here, and I'm actually going to combine some colors on my palette to see what they look like when I've combined them. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow, and then I'm going to add a little bit of the Shire blue to it and see if it just makes a nice green. I mean, I think mostly that's just Shire blue because this yellow is so transparent. Like, it's super light. But that's definitely even greener, so that's good to know. Okay, cool. But then my other really important question is if I take a little bit of the violet and I add a little bit of the green to it, what will I just get like a nasty brown? Will I get something usable? I don't know. Will I get something that's a little bit more of an in-between blue? Actually, kinda, yeah. That actually kind of works. It's still quite a grayish blue, but it does kind of work. Ooh, that's exciting. Okay, considering this is the textures that I'm getting on, like, smooth paper, I'm very excited to see how it looks on textured paper. That's fun. Samantha also should probably cook soon. Please, if you need to eat, please don't forget to feed yourself. It's important. Um, mm. I am realizing that I did have a little. My stream time is off by about 25 minutes, I think, because we had a bit of a blip. So we've actually been going for almost an hour and a half. Because I was like, we've only been streaming for an hour. How can I be wanting to kind of BRB already? But no, I'm just a silly sausage. We've actually been going longer than that. But anyways, so this is my swatch for these paints, which just means I can start actually painting with them, which is very exciting. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to extricate this painting from the block because it's still on the watercolor paper block. I'm almost out of paper on this block. But the good news is I buy like 6 of these blocks at once to make sure that I don't run out of paper. Anyways. Ooh. Speaking of paper and speaking of paints doing weird, unpredictable stuff, I wanted to shout out. I'm making a little video about it to pop on like Instagram and my YouTube and stuff about this ink because it is hecking wild. So if you're familiar, I think I talked about it maybe last week, that I've added a new like physical media original paintings tier to my Patreon, where if you sign up for it, you get your very own original painting of a little guy. You've seen some of them on my Instagram, or what they would look like, but each one is painted to order for the person. They are this size. It is the most inexpensive way I could offer original paintings, because people do ask occasionally if I sell my originals, and for the most part, no. Because, for instance, that piece that I did of the bookshop, if I were to not, in line with the skill that I employ as an artist, and paying myself an appropriate wage because of that painting would be like £450 for a thing the size of a postcard. And maybe some people would be totally cool with paying that, but I feel like most people would be like, that's a little bit beyond my budget. And that is totally frickin' fair, because it's beyond mine too. So I wanted to do something that is original art and is very special and is your own painting that is yours, that is painted by me, but was less expensive. The reason I bring this up is because the ones that I'm doing for this month, I'm using this violet scented ink from Urban, which it doesn't smell like violet by the time it dries down, but oh my god, it smells like just super perfumey while I'm painting with it. Like, holy heck, it's so floral. But it behaves really weirdly in as much as it changes color quite a bit as it goes from wet to dry. It gets darker as it dries down, which is unusual, because most of the time, as you can see with these, they kind of lighten up. They either stay the same or kind of get lighter as they dry generally. This one gets darker as it dries. But also, if you add water to it, it goes super blue and then dries down to this sort of violet color, like this violet hue. But it goes super blue. But if you use it without, if you don't add any water to it, if you just dip your brush or your pen or whatever into it, just in and of itself, it is like almost magenta levels of like pinkish purple. And then gets darker as it dries down to the same hue as the lighter washes of it. So there's something weird going on, I think, to do with like possibly some kind of pH interaction here, but it's not affecting the finished product, which is all the same, the differing values of the same purple hue. I don't know why. I have 2 other inks from this range. Neither of them behave in that way. It is deeply mysterious, but also really, really cool. And yeah, I did a little video of the making of 2 of the pieces that I did with it, just to illustrate that. But yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. Anyways, I do not expect anyone to actually subscribe at that tier, but because a few people asked about selling original pieces, I thought that would be a nice way to do it. I certainly don't expect anyone to do it for more than like a month if they did, because do you really need a stack of original paintings from me? Probably not. It is, you know, a bit more expensive. But if you were interested in checking it out, I'm popping a link there. And the self-promotion is over, and I'm going to drop a little BRB for a minute, and I will be back shortly. So please enjoy the BRB screen and the BRB music. I'll be back right now, and I was going to grab an ibuprofen or something. There's no ibuprofen in the house. So, I had a look around. We've got a lot of plasters, which unfortunately I don't think is going to help with my predicament. But I do have some Robaxacet left over from my last visit to Canada. So, Robaxacet it is. There's ibuprofen in this, so I figure that'll do. Anyways. Apologies for that. But yeah, hopefully that'll help with my heat for the remainder of the stream. Hello, Mr. Hangman. Welcome in. How are you doing? How's your Thursday going? It is delightful to see you. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, here's what I exampled out with this new paint for anyone who's come in recently. This is the Schminke super granulation paints. I have 5 colors of it. I've got Desert Yellow, Tundra Orange, Galaxy Pink, Deep Sea Violet, and Shire Blue. I've put blue in quotations because this is Shire Blue. It's green. It's green, okay? I'm going to pop this just up here for my reference. And I'm going to bring back the thing that I'm painting today. Ta-da! It's this. Anyways, hi. Mr. Hangman's is doing pretty okay. It's just got a green hue. It's fine. Which, in my opinion, does kind of make it green. Mark says I'm going to be muttering Shire Blue in my sleep tonight. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, friends. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, what have I done? Oh, beans. Okay, well. Okay. What I'm gonna do is so I combined a bit of the Shire Blue and the Tundra Violet, the Deep Sea Violet. It's Tundra Orange, Deep Sea Violet, here on my palette, and I was like, yeah, that does kind of make a blue color. So if I water that down quite a bit, and then just paint in this here sky, it's looking like the weather's a little bit overcast today in this little patch of the countryside, but that's all right. But hopefully, even at this very sort of pale wash, we might get some interesting textures out of this paint. At least that's the intention, that's the hope. That's my aim here. I really hope that, I'm actually quite pleased with the way that the sketch turned out for this piece, so I really hope that I don't ruin it with the paint. Maybe I should have taken a sketch that I care less about and painted that, but no, I don't want to paint a sketch that I'm not excited about, you know? Because that's not going to make for a good painting because I'm not excited about it. Anyways, yeah, that's looking quite good. It's very gray, but it is it's a bluish gray. It's kind of all, I'm trying to just get a closer look. It's kind of all come together in a way that feels, that is just kind of reading somewhat uniformly as a kind of bluish gray, which is quite cool. Because that's kind of what I was aiming for. So, sweet. Anyways. Oh, hell yeah. Mr. Hangman says, I saw the solar eclipse on Monday. Nice, nice, nice. We had a lot of talk in stream on Monday about the total eclipse, which was not seeable from this where I am, because I think it was, it would have been the wrong time of day, but yeah, I was very excited to see people's like blurry eclipse photos on their phones. Got some photos of my family back in Canada that they sent me of like them sitting on the front porch with their little like eclipse viewing safety glasses on, staring up at the sky. Very, very cute. But yeah, I'm glad for the people who were able to see it. In totality, it lasted about 2 minutes, says Mr. Hangman. Who also says, never seen one, and I'll probably never see one again until I want to fly to Madrid in 2 years. Ooh. I mean, I think the total eclipse for that, they're not expecting another total eclipse for that area until, like, I feel like 20 years from now, so very, very happy for the people who were able to see it, for sure, for sure. There was some kind of eclipse that I saw a few years ago here that was really neat. The office that I happened to be working in at the time had these partially obscuring sunshades on the window, and so which basically functioned as if they were like basically eclipse glasses, so I could just basically look out the window through this shade and safely view it. It was really cool. But yeah, it was a good time. Anyways, but that was quite a few years. Is it 2144? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, but in North America itself it'll be like 2042 or something. Okay, that's why. Because I was like, I did hear 2040 something, because that's a really long time. But yeah, that makes more sense. I remember the last total one here in 1999, says Sen. Sweet. We were in the front lawn, and behind us relatives demolished my grandma's house. Oh my god, what? That's wild. That, like, were they supposed to? I hope so. Wow. Weird. Okay, anyways. What was I gonna say? Yes, they were supposed to. Okay, good. It wasn't a goof. It wasn't just an oops. I was just trying to hammer a nail into the wall, and now the wall's fallen over. Oh, jeez, because I can imagine that being strange. But there was I think from the last eclipse that happened in America from some years ago, there was like a news headline that was like, people stopping to look at the eclipse costs the nation $700 million in productivity loss. And it's like, okay, number one, if that's how much they're generating in the like 10 minutes it takes to go observe this really cool, like very rare celestial phenomenon, then how much money is the country generating in a day? That's like a drop in the bucket, actually, so I wouldn't sweat it. But on the other hand, are we really quantifying such an amazing, like, potentially once-in-a-lifetime event in terms of productivity loss? Like, get in the garbage. If anything, I think this is an indication that more often we should just be like, hey, it's a nice day out, let's go play outside. You know? like, get in the garbage. Anyways, that's just such a stupid way to think about it. Ruby says, gotta go, take care. Thank you so much for hanging out, Ruby. It's been wonderful to see you, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your Thursday. Thank you. Samantha says, my favorite images from the eclipse were pictures/videos of gaps in leaves acting as pinhole cameras, giving many images of the moon moving in front of the sun. That is so stinking cool. So stinking cool. There's some beautiful photos out there. We just shoved down the wall from the attic. No big deal, says Sen. Yeah, who cares? Also, who needs a roof? Yeah, it's fine. Roofs, schmoofs, they're overrated. Mr. Hangman says that would make the world money amount over 60 quadrillion. What a ridiculous article. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, who gives this? Like, let's quantify the entirety of the human experience in terms of productivity and productivity loss. Let's quantify the human experience in terms of, like, unique events that we share and have a nice time with our loved ones during, you know? Let's think about, like, what brings you joy? What was a nice thing you experienced today? Not how much money did you make the company you work for, you know? Let's think about what did you do to make someone's life a little bit more pleasant today? Let's think about stuff like that. You know? Come on, y'all. Watching one of the wonders of the natural world eats into corporate profits. Just, you know, I just refuse to live such a joyless existence. I do. Like I said earlier on stream, I refuse to give up on whimsy. It's one of the things that makes existence tolerable. And that's something that I sometimes struggle with a little bit. So I'm gonna cling on to it with my little meaty paws as hard as I can, okay? Anyways. If I had to choose between getting fired or seeing a once-in-a-lifetime experience that won't happen for 150 years, says Mr. Hangman, I'd pick the eclipse and find another job. And you'd be quite right, because that job is an exploitive pile of garbage, and they should be better. And then sue for wrongful termination. Hell yeah! That is a super exciting phenomenon. And anyone complaining about, like, oh, well, we didn't make enough money, it's just like, go get in the garbage. Get in the garbage. You stinky. You're stinky, stupid. Anyways, hello, Vampire. Welcome on in. Just having a little rant about people quantifying, you know, like a solar eclipse in terms of, like, productivity loss. I'm realizing I didn't really do anything with the door here. I think I actually do want to just pop a little hinge, and I think the door is just sort of opening to the inside. Like so. So you can kind of see it. Maybe there's a little... There's a little window on the door, because I think it's cute. Why not? Anyways. Stinky, says Mr. Hangman. Okay, maybe that's a little bit too harsh. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sen says, I gotta find a part-time job. I don't wanna. I don't like the capitalistic grind. I know what you mean. I mean, on the other hand, I don't hate having the idea of having some kind of a little job, you know, as long as it's something that is enjoyable, and that isn't too stressful. I find a lot of the time the kinds of work that are dubbed as rewarding are also undercompensated, and I don't love that. I think that's not cool, you know, like teaching. They're like, it's a rewarding job, and they compensate for the fact that it's rewarding by not paying you, and it's like, no, that's bad. That's bad, actually. Anyways, my moderator/spouse is here. Hello, darling. I'm gonna go say hi to my moderator/spouse. I'll be back in a second, everybody. Hey, darling. You made it. Yay, welcome home. I've got a headache, so I took a Robaxi set. It's nice to see you. How's your day? Okay. Everything okay? Okay, bye, sweetie. I love you. Mwah. Mod/spouse is home. Yay. Hello. I'm afraid to expose my magnet to the elements, says Vampire. I don't want to ruin it. I mean, you can always magnet it to something indoors. You've probably got magnetically metal objects in indoors that you could use it on. But yeah, it's still really cool that you made it. Vampire made a magnet and shared it in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you can get in on that right here. Anyways. I wouldn't mind doing work that actually helps people, says Mr. Hangman. Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of thing that I think is rewarding or is creative, which is why I'm doing animation. Animation is so stinking cool. The retailer working for a bank or something, though, thanks. Yeah, there are some jobs that kind of just feel like... you just invented a job for the sake of there being a job. This doesn't feel good. I work as a housekeeper in a hospital. I'd say that helps people, says Vampire. Oh, it super does. It super does. That is such an important job. Hell yeah. I've just noticed there's a big tangle in my hair. I washed my hair earlier, and usually that means that it gets a little bit tangly. Oh no. Oh no, that is... Get a load of this tangle. No. I'm gonna very carefully extricate my hair from this. Oh no. How did this happen? This is the... My hair type is tangles, basically. It's very frustrating. Okay. No. Okay, I've managed to... Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Yay! Okay, the tangle is free. My hair is just my hair again. Hooray! Anyways, I wouldn't mind being a freelance housekeeper, says Mr. Hangman. Like, just some people hire and pay cash. Don't tell the CRA. My lips are sealed. They are zipped. Don't worry about it. But yeah, that's cool. Housekeeping is a very important job. I wish if I could employ a housekeeper just to come help with the things that I can't do very well, I would love to do it. That is one of my aspirations, is to be able to like hire like a housekeeper to come in every once in a while and just help out. Samantha says, most jobs that pay well are jobs that add literally zero value and often negative value to the human existence. Yep, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. They're, important jobs, like barista. That's an important job, to me anyways, there are some baristas out there who I think should be on, like, CEO money, frankly. And there are definitely some CEOs out there that I think should be on get fired money, so... There you have it. Dog walker. Oh, that would be wonderful. You get to your clients are doggies. That sounds amazing. Pet sitter, also excellent. They seem like pretty chill side jobs that don't consume your life. Absolutely. And you get to hang out with lovely, lovely animals. What's not to enjoy? That would be a lovely little job to have. For sure. I mean, there's more. I'm sure there's more to it than that in terms of, like, skill and, training. I don't know if there's certifications that you need, or you just need to be good with animals. But yeah, that's my biggest thing, says Mr. Hangman. I don't want work to consume my life like my mom's accounting job. There are some people who are just. There are some people for whom that kind of, like, grind suits. People who really don't know how to switch off, or don't like to switch off, or don't want to switch off. And honestly, fine. That's fine. It is not for me. I need to switch off because I am at this point in a pretty permanent state of running on fumes level of burnout and possible skill regression at this point. So that's a fun experience, but yeah, I love the idea of just being able to kind of do something. I briefly had a very lovely, very chill job. But it was every second weekend was when I worked. It was basically, it wasn't no money. It was a paid job, but it was legally the least amount of money they were allowed to get away with paying. It was just a nice get out of the house for 2 days. But unfortunately, I started in that job about 2 weeks before I moved to another city. So I did the job, I think, for 4 days over 2 different weekends, and then had to give notice, like, that day and be like, I'm not coming back because I'm moving to another city because I got another job in the city where my partner lived, and weirdly enough, wanted to move in with my partner. So here we are. But yeah. Mr. Heyman says she's so overwhelmed she's working till 6 a.m. till 11 p.m. every night, almost, because she handles like 6 companies. She's doing too much. That's too many things. That shouldn't be allowed. That's not okay. This mindset is not good. It's not healthy for people. The sort of, and the way that workplaces are able to kind of exploit that like, this idea of above and beyond needs to be discarded entirely. Um, you know, people thinking like, oh, you know, like if I want to be regarded well, there are certain workplaces I think really have this attitude. I remember my father was doing things, just doing like short contracts with various companies, coming in because they had like a project, coming in, doing the project, and then moving on to the next contract. And it worked really well for him for a few years. But there was this one place that he had a contract with, and the prevailing attitude of the workplace was, it is just normal that everyone works late. It is weird if you leave on time. Like, that's just, you just put in that effort, right? And it was very normalized that you just were continuously and forever overworked. But my dad was not a permanent employee. He was a contractor. He was just there to like do this one specific project. And so he was like, nah, you know, he's got a partner, he's got kids, he's got sleep he needs to be having. So he would get in, you know, sort of at the normal time of the morning, do his job, have lunch, do his job for the afternoon, and then leave bang on 5 p.m. every day. 'Cause F that, you know? But yeah, since my job's always completely killed my creative things. Oh, I know that feeling exactly. And I'm really scared to... I find myself in a position where I'm really scared to, like, have to do or move on to, like, new day job stuff, because I previous to the panini, really, I existed in a space where I wasn't able to devote myself to my creative works, and I was exhausted and depressed, and my mental and physical health suffered super bad, and I didn't realize how bad it was until, like, this year I kind of remembered that, like, oh, you know, like, I used to work in an office all day, every day, pre-panini, and then I'm like, wait a second, I was also falling asleep just at my desk during the day, and I just cried a lot, just a lot of inconsolable sobbing, like, at least several times a week, I would just inconsolably sob, like, so much about stuff, because I was exhausted and miserable. So, I don't want to go back to that. Yay! So this is, I think, existing in the UK as a person is enough of a hassle that I should be paid for it. I wholeheartedly agree. They should just give us money to live here. Anyways, Mr. Hangman says, yeah, you weirdo wanting to live with someone you like. I know, like, what was I thinking? Anyways, Mr. Hangman says, even if I'm hired at a place like that, I'm not working for free. You pay me triple or I'm leaving on time. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. 100%. I'm very much on board with just, you know, these are the working hours. These are the hours that I work. If you don't like it, tough biscuits. You know? I'm sorry, like, legally, you can't make me stay. So, bye-bye. Hello, Ruby! Welcome back. I got nothing to do. Yep, Mr. Hangman says they can't fire you for it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they might... I find... There is the sort of, like, places I hear about, and, you know, I haven't really worked at a place quite like this, but places where they're very, like, you know, oh, we're all just a big family here, but they use that sort of to exploit people. You know, it's like, oh, you wouldn't let your family down, would you? Because, like, you're not staying until 8 p.m. when you started at 8 in the morning kind of thing. Like, no. I ain't here for that, you know? Listen. That's a big bowl of nope from me. I am making a brownish out of this Shire yellow and the other one. And I want this to be a fairly translucent wash. Because I want to make a little sort of garden bed here. Where they've maybe just planted some little fruits and veggies. He's got a basket of strawberries I thought would be really cute. So I'm gonna put down just a color for it for now, and then I think I just want to lay down sort of the major flat colors of the landscaping, and the house, and then we'll come back and add details and stuff later on. Oh, I shouldn't have taken that Robaxisec because I'm a little dizzy now. I didn't think that was going to happen. Uh-oh. Divine Pathways, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. Hello, hello. Ruby says, dang, I'm about to sleep. Why am I hungry? I guess honestly, sometimes your body just needs a lot of nourishment in a day. And it varies from day to day, and that's okay. If you need a little pre-bed snack, that's okay. Ah, Ruby's got a question. Ruby wants to know why the jam donut emote is called donut. I shall explain. It is indeed an onigiri, but it comes from the time that I played a Pokemon game on stream a few years ago, and I named my character Jam Donut because in the Pokemon anime cartoon, there is a point where it's localized into English as Brock is like, look, they've got jam donuts, my favorite, but he's holding up an onigiri, but they translated it as him talking about jam donuts because I guess they thought that English speaking people weren't going to understand a rice ball snack. So they called them jam donuts, but it looks like a rice ball. It looks like a triangular ball of rice wrapped in a piece of seaweed. And it was just really bizarre choice because jam donuts do not look like that. It was very strange. So the reason that we have a donut emote that's obviously an onigiri is because of Brock's jam donuts in the Pokemon cartoon, prompting me to name my Pokemon game character Jam Donut. I still haven't finished that game, by the way. It was Pokemon Legends Arceus when that one was new. I did really enjoy it. But there reaches a point where you finish the storyline apart from catching every single Pokemon, and then you get to fight God. And I didn't want to go through the grind of trying to catch every single Pokemon on stream, so instead I just finished there, because I figured we'd seen the important bits. Anyways. Ruby says, I get a tinge of hunger right before bed. Interesting. I sometimes do too. I mean, that's why the midnight snack is a thing. Ruby says, Pokemon notwithstanding, why are you committing crimes against God? Listen! It's not my idea to fight God. It's the game / Arceus's idea. So, there you go. Poor little Jam Donut just wants to go home. That's the story of the game, is she's transported into another time and place by the god of all Pokemon, and then has to catch all of the Pokemon in the region, and then fight God, presumably in order to be allowed to go home. I think that's it. Anyways, Mr. Hangman says, I don't know about you, but I only get Jam Donuts that look like that. Ruby says, it is not your ignorance, but your stubbornness, even though you know it's wrong. And listen, I just like to have fun, okay? We're just having a good time here. I'm trying my best. Okay. I'm gonna accidentally flip over this paint pan and just get a whole bunch of paint on my fingy. So I'm just gonna pick that paint back up with my paintbrush and add it to my palette like a champ. Okay, there we go. I'm not wasting that paint. Okay, I think my hand is clean. We're good. I'm gonna have to be a little bit more careful, apparently. But I'm picking up some of this desert yellow, and I'm just gonna blend it with the Shire blue, which is nothing of the sort. So this is 3 more days of kiwis. Nice. You place the blame on the game because you don't want to take responsibility for your actions. Excuse me, I'm the most accountable person I know. Hey. That's not very nice. Anyways. 3 more days of kiwis, says Silly. Hell yeah. Ruby says, God, they sell such good onigiri next to my uni. Nice! Maybe it's the rice is so flat. Oh, I do love a good onigiri. So good. Don't you just hate when you get paint on your thingies, Samantha? I really do. I really do. It's been delightful, says Silly. Yay! Yay, glad to hear it. Oh no, the consequences. Please, no consequences. I'm just a little creature. They also sell donuts in the area. Maybe I'll mash both dishes together and make an abomination. Hey, you know what? You might come up with something good. I mean, there's mochi donuts that are made with, like, mochi rice flour. So, like, maybe if you try your best and make a big wish, you could get something good. I don't know. Okay, I've made sort of a dirty green here that I think will do well for sort of the hills in the background as, like, a base. Ooh, pretty. Hell yeah. Okay, cool. As I say, again, this is just like layer 1. So expect it to hopefully improve as we add textures and detail, and I want to put little flowers in the sort of gardens in front of the cottage here. I think that would be really cute. I want to give this a little bit more dimension as we go, but for now, I would just like to put down a color so I can I've got something to work from. And hope that it is okay. Anywho, summer days, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? I come in chaos. Oh, fantastic. That is a vibe. That is an excellent vibe. We love to see it. I hope you're having a good Thursday, Summer. I really do. Hope you're having an excellent time, and a beautiful day, and that you've had a good week, and all that jazz. We are... Ooh! I like the way that this green that I've mixed together is granulating down. You're definitely getting a nice bit of shifting here and there in the color, which is really good. There's just some shrubs that are kind of coming out sort of around the side of the house. It's kind of this cottage, I think, is quite nestled into the hills behind it, which is quite fun. And there we go. How's that for roof shape? I think that's a decent roof shape. Anyways, Neo's doing a lurk. Thank you very much. Jam Onigiri says Samantha. Ruby says tuna mayo donut. Oh wow. Yup. Summer says doing good. Got a streamer to add Fred the Frog, my son, into their webtoon. Ooh, very nice. We do love the Froggos on this channel. We are friend to Forg. Very much so. That's awesome. I've got a hydrate from Ruby. I'll take a sip of my spiced cranberry tea. Why is your channel Points Coffee Beans, asks Ruby. Because I am a coffee enjoyer as well as a tea enjoyer. And I wanted to, when I was coming up with my sort of channel theming, I wanted to incorporate both tea and coffee into it. And so I thought, you know what, I need some sort of like illustrative, picture-y type thing for my channel points. Why not make it a coffee bean? It's recognizable at the small size that it is on stream, and it's something that brings me joy. So that's why. Forg adjacent channel, says Silly. We love Forg here. We are very much Forg enthusiasts. I should probably do another Terry portrait at some point. Just a nice painting of Terry going about his life. Just chillaxing or practicing some spell casting. You know, all the fun stuff that Terry gets up to. If you're not familiar with Terry, let me finish up this section of paint, and I will introduce you to the lovely Terry, the Forg Mage. Ooh, I like what this color's doing. it's already just giving me a nice sort of organic color shift without me having to actually do much, which is it's a nice these paints. I felt like these paints were going to be a good base for landscapey type stuff, and they haven't steered me wrong yet, so I'm happy with that. Anyways, maybe Terry in a library / bookshop, says Samantha. Ooh, funny you should mention that. Hold up. Wait a minute. One moment, please. I am looking for something. It may take me some time, but I'll get there. God, I post so much to Instagram. Hold up. Anyways, but yeah, Terry, if you're not familiar with him, he is a Forg mage. He's a lovely little Froggo friend and a very competent spellcaster / adventurer who is very much a friend of the stream here. There is a Terry emote. There's 2 Terry emotes, in fact. One of them is animated. The other is not. But here's Terry in his magic library. And doing all of these books also took a ridiculously long time. But yeah, I think it may be a while before I want to do another library / bookshop. But I do enjoy it. It's just a ton of work. It takes a really long time. I like the idea of coffee in coffee shops, says Ruby, but I don't think my body can handle coffee. There's always decaf if you're concerned about the caffeine situation, and there are some very good specialty decafs out there that are delicious. I'm probably going to have one after stream, in fact. Anyways, I just drank some water. Good stuff, says Vampire. Delicious. Delightful. Love it. Love that for you. Had an iced coffee on Monday, says Ruby, and my heart was just racing. The instant coffee hit my mouth. Oh no, I didn't get energized or anything. Yeah, caffeine is interesting. Oftentimes it's kind of like focus juice for me because of my ADHD situation, but it can also just be like nervous juice instead of energy. I think that the effect is, I've never seen decaf being served. You should ask. You should ask for it. Definitely do. I love this so much, says Mel. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mel. Also, hi, Mel. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. I'm just having a silly time doing some silly paints with some silly paints. I am going to add a smidgen of Galaxy Pink and actually a tiny amount of Deep Sea Violet to this brown color to paint in this little pathway leading from the front steps of the cottage. And actually, I think that's made a really good brown. Okay, these colors are super versatile and I love them with my entire heart. Very fun. Why not? The last library only took you about a month. It did take me a month of streams, and then I had to finish the last bits of it off stream, Samantha. It was so much. It was so much. Oh my goodness. Been a good day, says Mel. How are you? I'm doing pretty good too. I've had a Thursday of a day, but I'm having a lovely time streaming this shenanigans. Mel says, I wonder if cold brew would be more tummy friendly. It has less acidity. This is true, but it also has a ton of caffeine. So be careful. Vampire still doesn't like the taste. Well then, if you don't like the taste of coffee, I don't think you're gonna like cold brew. There's always tea though. You don't have to like coffee just because I do. I know I'm cool, but I'm not here to influence. I'm not here to influence you. Silly Sammy, this is so gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Tea is great and has many options. There is actually a tea that I have that has coffee beans in it, so it has a hint of a coffee-ishness to it, but has the level of caffeine of just a regular. It is a black tea. Well, I mean it's a pu'er tea, so it's black tea adjacent, but it's fermented. But yeah, Mel's got a loaded question. Sammy, says Mel, Do you count herbal tea as tea? I had someone tell me it's not tea, but it's called tea. There are some people who are strict adherents of the idea that anything that you call tea has to be something that is a derivative of the Camellia sinensis plant, which is the tea plant. So, black tea, green tea, white tea, oolong tea, yellow tea, which is rare, pu'er tea. I think I've covered the bases pretty much there. Are teas. And the various variations thereupon. Milk, oolong, sencha, kukicha, hojicha, yada yada yada. Right? And then what do you do with the others? You know, what about rooibos? Is it rooibos tea or is it just rooibos? If it's an herbal tea, some people refer to those as infusions. I call this a fruit tea. Because I don't care. It's all tea. That leaves the door open for additional questions, however. If I take hot water and I add some bonito flakes and kombu seaweed to it to make dashi stock, and then I strain the liquid out and discard the seaweed and the fish flakes, have I made dashi tea? Because it's infused by the same method as this, but does not come from the tea plant. I don't know where you draw the line. It's personal, I suppose. But in terms of if I'm drinking it as though it were a tea, I call it a tea. But that's just me. That's personal. I do know some people are very like, it's infusions if it's not made with black tea. But like, I don't care. Life's too short. If I purchased it from a tea shop, it's tea. A forg and a porg having a snorg. Terrible drawing time from Sledge. Okay, darling. Let us put this to one side. I love the way this paint is sitting on the paper. By the way. I've done so little with it, and yet it's already bringing me quite a bit of joy. I mean, it looks fugly as heck so far because it's very incomplete. In case anyone missed it, this was the card that I made to just test out the various paint colors and how they layer and yada yada yada. This is the test card. I will leave that there while I get the Terrible Drawing Time canvas, which is on the other side of my studio. One moment, please. Oh no! I just hit a box with my foot. Everything's fine. Right. Porg and a forg having a snorg. Let me see what I can do. But fruit tea is made with black tea as well. Some of them are. Some of them are. But some of them aren't. I like calling it all tea, says Mel, because the process of making it and drinking it is the same. I feel like for clarity's sake, you can clarify what type of ingredients is made. There are fruit flavored black teas, but this one, for instance, doesn't have like black tea leaves in it. It is it's got some dried fruit bits, like it's got some rose hips and cinnamon and citrus peel, I think, and some other things. So it's not. So it is fully without caffeine, which I wanted because I did have a coffee earlier. Anyways, allow me to introduce the phenomenon that is Terrible Drawing Time. Effectively, for 5,000 channel points, I've got 5 minutes or less to draw a character or concept of your choosing from memory or sight unseen on the Terrible Drawing canvas. And I've got a little bit of room left on this canvas, so I think I will use this canvas rather than going to the new one, because I would like to fill it up as best as I can. And let me just get my timer up so that I can pop 5 minutes on the clock to draw a... God, do I remember what a porg looks like? No. No, I do not. But I'm going to try because we got a Terrible Drawing Time redeem, so I shall do my very best and hope that it's okay. I know they're like little creatures. I don't know how I'm gonna draw it doing a smooch with a forg, but I shall try. Anyways, where's my timer? Clock. Timer. 5 minutes. Starting now. Here we go. Did you see my message about the Fred Lord? Possibly not, and I've got a timer running, so I will check after the timer is done, because it's ticking down. I gotta go, I gotta draw. I'm sorry. I will check in a second. Hello. Anyways, what paint is this? This is the super granulation watercolor paint from Schminke. I have 5 of them because they were kind of expensive, so I only bought 5 colors. But I'm very excited about them. Okay, so a porg is kind of this weird, like, Star Wars creature, and how am I gonna do this? Because, like, they're kind of just little shapes like this, but they've got little, like, wings, sort of, and, like, these big eyes. But would they have their big eyes open when they're doing a kiss? I don't know. Got their little burb feet, because they're basically puffins, I think. Okay, it's got its eyes closed, because it's doing a little smooch with a forg. How am I gonna do forg? Because forg is, geez, this is tough and confusing. I have no idea how am I gonna do, like, forg shape here. If I want to do, here's forg, here's a forg. It's not, this isn't a Terry forg. I think this is more just sort of just general forg, as you do. Little forg arms, sort of going like that. Flap, forg arms. Does this look like a forg? I don't know. Well, they've got their big. This is horrible, and I hate it, and I'm erasing it because it's bad. That's just I think I'm just gonna do their faces doing a smooch, because otherwise this is just gonna look really stressful and horrible. Oh no. Anyways, they do exist to cover up puffins. They were not allowed to move out of the way during filming. Yes, exactly. So they have bodies kind of like puffins, so that they could just have, like, the puffins flying around in the background, but just made them look a little bit more, you know, creature-esque. General Forg rose through the ranks of the Forg army through to superior tactical acumen, says Samantha. Yes. 100%. Okay, so I'm just doing, like, porg face and forg face. So porgs have these little faces that are like, Mmm. But they've got their eyes closed because they're doing a little smooch, and then I don't know what does a forg look like. Oh no. Mr. Hangman's gotta run. See you later. Thank you so much for hanging out, Mr. Hangman. I'm so sorry, this art is cursed. This kind of does look like Terry, but I don't want it to be Terry, because I don't want Terry to be snogging a forg, because that's weird. But I don't know how else to draw Froggo face. Well, I'm kind of implying more of, like, a straight ahead frog body here, so hopefully that gets the idea across. There we go. This is so stupid. This is very stupid. But I hope it's okay. I mean, this is the least okay thing I've ever done, but, you know, listen, I'm trying. I'm gonna try and, like, get porg colors into the, so I'm gonna kind of shade in their little sort of furry, fluffy, feathery little bodies. Is it feathers? Is it fluff? I don't know. I'm adding in some could be read as feathery texture. This is the worst thing I've ever drawn in my life. I'm so sorry. I'm a doze off. Good night, everyone. Good night, Ruby, and thank you so much for hanging out. That's time on Terrible Drawing Time, and I do think it's lived up to its name today. That is horrific, and I don't love it. But Sledge, my darling, I hope you're happy. Going neck up seems a bit of a cop out, but listen, I could not figure out how to make it not just look really grotesque, and it was making me stressed. Do you want me to redo it? Do you want a do-over? It's your channel points, babe. Okay. Thank you, my love. Anyways, that was Terrible Drawing Time, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's get back to painting an actual painting, shall we? Yay! Alright. Anyways. Where's my paintbrush? Okay. Sorry, I dropped the palette to a little space outside of my desk, so I didn't accidentally knock it over while I was trying to do a terrible drawing. I think that was probably the right call. Okay, I'm gonna make a slightly different shade of green this time. I think I might do a slightly bluer green, so just a tiny amount of desert yellow this time, and a larger amount of the Shire blue. Just so we're not totally matching the other green. I want to have a little difference, a little dimension, a little bit of variation in the piece for starters, you know what I mean? Anyways, okay. Summer days, I will take a look at your Fred lore. But just FYI, if I do miss messages in chat, unless it's something to do with, like, technical stream issues, genuinely, I do try and catch everything. I can't necessarily read every message out every time. And that's just how it is. Anyways, Fred the Boat Frog is a lonely traveler who's on a mission to find the golden ice cream. He's like an Easter egg. He sounds beautiful. Thank you for sharing. But I do apologize for not seeing it earlier. But sometimes I can't see all of chat just because it goes at a pace and I'm trying my best to keep up, and I do apologize if I don't see any. But sometimes I don't. But please don't spam. Thank you. Anyways, that's your PSA for today. I think it's somewhere in the about section. Anyways. Ooh, I like this green. This green is hot. This green is good. Also, I have a memory like a sieve. This will not change. That's just how my brain runs. Anyways. This is such a pretty green. This is a little bit closer to the teal, but I think it still works as like a grass color. There's like, you're getting little pops of like the yellow popping out from the different pigments, which is really fun. I will be embellishing this with a lot of like gardeny, planty texture, some little grasses sticking up, probably some flowers here and there. They've got little window boxes with some flowers in them as well, because I thought that would be nice and quite cute. Also, oh no, I have to decide what color the house is painted. I hadn't thought about what color the house is painted. Oh no! I've literally given that zero thought. Oh, pretzels. Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to think about. I think it's quite like wood paneling, so it's probably gonna be various colors of like wood stain, but still. Ah. So many things to consider here. I think I'm gonna do the sort of porch area here in like a nice brown, and just like wood color, and yeah. As for the rest of it, hold up! Oh no! Oh no! Your streamer goofed. Your artist goofed. I just noticed a bit of up here that was meant to be green also. So I've just mixed up a relatively equivalent green. I'm just gonna such a tiny little amount of area. Just kind of fill it in. But I put too much, so I'm gonna use my little piece of tissue and blot. There we go. Okay, that'll do. Yay! Anyways. I'm enjoying this piece. I think it's really fun. Also, I keep looking at stream and it's like, oh, you've been streaming for 2 hours. I'm like, I've been streaming for longer than 2 hours. But that's just because stream had a bit of a blip and I had to remount the stream about 30 minutes in. So actually I have been going for almost the entire normal, like, regular stream time. Rooftop. I think I want to do just kind of do sort of like a brownish base for the rooftop, but then maybe give it a little bit of sort of like a mossy vibe. Just make it feel, you know, like cottagecore, that kind of thing. So what I might do is mix up this tundra orange. I'll start with a base of the tundra orange and then add in a little bit of just a little desert yellow. But then I might add a teensy bit of deep sea violet to that, just to kind of deepen it in probably weird and terrible ways, but who knows? Hopefully we'll get something usable. Yay! Okay. How's that? Ooh, yeah, that just kind of dirties it up a little bit. That's good. That's good. Maybe a little bit more. Oh, that's too much. Now it's just kind of an ugly shade of gray. I'm gonna need to add more yellow. Oh no. Or maybe a little bit more orange. Maybe a little bit more orange. I don't know. I'm just playing at this point. Ooh, yeah. Okay, that's better. That's more like something that I think I can use here. Hello, Joe. Welcome in. Hey, Sammy. Hey, chat. Hey, Deathwater. Yup. Indeed. How are you going? How's it doing? How have you been? Lovely to see you. Welcome on in and happy Thursday. Hope you're having a good one. I am painting a color that I like to call rooftop brown. Sledge, my darling Sledge, is doing a lurk. Have a lovely lurk, sunshine. I shall be liaising with my moderator / spouse shortly when I end stream because we live together. For anyone who didn't know, Twitch user Sledge Callier is my moderator and also, most importantly, my partner. And we're in love. It's nice. Presumptuous, he says. Is it? Have you had a change of heart? Babe, should I be concerned? Are you sure? Okay, I love you. Sorry, anyways. I don't know if you could hear any of that. That was very silly. Anyways, long day but good day, says Joe. Nice. Love to hear it. Long sounds bad, but good sounds good. So I'm glad it was a good day, and I hope it was the good kind of long. How about me? I'm having so much fun with these paints. Where did I put so this is my swatch for these paints. These are 5 of the super granulation watercolors from Schminke that look like that. There's Shire Blue, Deep Sea Violet, Galaxy Pink, Tundra Orange, and Desert Yellow, because I wanted to have a spread that represented as many different landscapes as I might be likely to paint. But also I only got, there's 40 some odd colors that they make in this range, and I could not afford to buy all 40 some odd colors. And they do have like a set of 12 paint pans that you can buy, but it's like £70, and I'm like, I would rather not spend 70 pounds on a set of paints and have it turn out that I hate them, so I would rather just get a couple for less money and see whether or not I actually like working with them. And it turns out I really like working with them, so oh no! Because now I want to work with them more, and I've only got 5 of them. But I think from this set of paints, I've already managed to produce a really interesting range of colors, and I haven't fully plumbed the depths of what you can do with them yet, I don't think. So yeah, I'm having fun. I am having fun with this. This is nice. Okay, and to that end, I'm gonna make some porch / steps color by basically just adding a little additional yellow to this woodsy brown color. And then I'm gonna paint in the stairs and the porch. I would refer to this color maybe as like a mushroom brown. This feels like mushroom brown. I think mushroom brown is kind of a recognizable color. I don't normally mess with mushroomy stuff because I'm allergic to mushrooms, but Stream Goal asks Joe. I think I just want to get as many of the flat colors down for this piece as I can before we wrap up today. I would say that's my goal. Turnip says, I'm dying in and out today, but I'm lurking to say the art is looking lovely. Oh, thank you so much, Turnip. That is so nice of you to say. Thank you, thank you. I'm quite enjoying these paints. Like, dangerously so, because now I want to get more colors of them. But I think I can do enough with this set of colors that I quite enjoy the challenge of working within sort of the set limitations of whatever paint colors I happen to be using. I just think it's fun. I think it's neat to do it. Sometimes I just like setting myself arbitrary constraints and challenges because it saves me from the horrors of choice paralysis. You know? Joe says, oh, I meant donation goal for more paints. Oh my goodness. I mean, I could set a stream donation goal for more paints, but I don't like asking people to give me monies for stuff. It makes me, I don't know, because technically I can buy paints, I just can't buy very many of them. Do I need more paints? I don't know. I always thought mushrooms were sort of gray, says Samantha. I mean, mushrooms are a very, there's a lot of variation in the mushroom world. Some of them are kind of grayish, some of them are kind of brownish. They kind of toe a line generally, I think. But it also really depends. There are some types of mushroom that I would say are quite almost like bright brown. Some are red. Yep. Some are like almost pure just white, basically. There's a lot of mushroom variation, and I think some of the mushroom brown is kind of one of those ones that can kind of go either way in terms of is it brown, is it gray, anyways. But yeah. If anyone, no, okay, no, I'm not gonna. No. Sorry, I was still thinking about the stream goal thing, and I'm like, no. I do have these stream stickers though. If anyone was like, I've just got some bits and I want to see what this does, I do have new stream stickers. That's about it. Anyways, but yeah, I've been replaying Stardew Valley. I started when the update came out, I started a new save. And I can't decide what color I want to make the house. I think I'm just gonna do the like window frames in this color as well, maybe. And just save deciding what color the house wants to be for next time, because I simply cannot. I am unable to decide what color the house should be. I can't do it. But yeah, I started a new Stardew Valley save. And my My farmer is a little guy named Jeff and has just reached the part of the, like, the mines where you start finding mushrooms. Which is very exciting, but also really scary because there's a lot of monsters down there, and he died one time down the mines, and Linus found him, and he lost some stuff out of his rucksack, and he was very stressed, and it was really scary. Also, he's married to Harvey. They're very cute. I think Harvey might be one of my favorite romanceable NPCs in Stardew Valley, actually. He's so stinking cute. And he's a very sweet partner. He's really into, he's got like a special interest in aeroplanes, but no, I'm not going to say anymore because I don't want to spoil it just in case you've never romanced Harvey and you want to go in blind. So I'm not going to spoil it for you, but Harvey is the sweetest pea, and I love him with my whole heart. He is the best character in the game and so stinking cute, and he loves pickles and coffee. Harvey's the best. Anyways, I bet Harvey still charged you for dying in the mine. I don't know whether or not he does. I don't know. I mean, presumably we kind of have a joint bank account anyways, because, like, we're married, we live together. Or if we don't have a joint bank account, we certainly share finances. You know, I buy him coffees all the time, and sometimes he gives me stuff too. Anyways. But yes, Jeff is very happy. I think that location would have sandstone, says Joe, and sandstone bricks. Ooh, cute. Very cute. I do like, oh, what is the stone that was the popular stone? It wasn't sandstone. What was it? Limestone, that was it. My hometown was known for its limestone. Some beautiful limestone buildings in my hometown. Anyways, I'm going to be back in my hometown in just a little over a month, I guess, for a very significant birthday. I don't want to think too hard about it, or I'll have an existential crisis. I've been trying to think of, like, things we can do in terms of, like, plans and stuff for when I'm there, and I've been coming up fairly blank. Partly because we are not going to have, like, a car that we can drive around while we're there. And some places are a lot easier to get to than others from the city that my family is from. But I would really like to go see and do some novel things rather than just, like, hang about my family home and go to the supermarket. Go to the supermarket down the road, get a Tim Hortons, you know. Hope that my family doesn't judge me for the amount of Canadian junk food that I'm eating, which I will be eating a lot of because those are the things that I miss from Canada. That doesn't mean that I eat junk food all the time here. I'm making a nice, like, dish of gnocchi and asparagus for my dinner tonight. It's going to be delightful. I'm actually really looking forward to that now. Asparagus. It's been probably about a week since the last time I had asparagus, and I do like taking advantage of asparagus season because it's one of my very favorite vegetables. So good. It's got that wonderful green, fresh, slightly metallic flavor to it. It's just so good. And presumably it's very healthy as well. And, I mean, it does also do that thing where I don't know what it is in asparagus, but there is something about asparagus that makes your pee real stinky. And I don't like that side effect of it. But apart from that, asparagus is great. But that bit of it, 0 out of 10, do not recommend it. It's so gross. Anyways. Asparagus makes me so ill, says Joe. Oh no, do you have an intolerance? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The good news is you don't have to experience the asparagus side effects, and I love that for you. But I'm sorry that it makes you unwell. Oh no. Oh no. I've actually been thinking lately that I probably have other, like, mild intolerances that I'm kind of ignoring because I feel bad a lot of the time. And I have some unexplained symptoms, but, you know, also the process of trying to figure out what your body doesn't like is really hard. So I haven't yet, but I'll get around to it at some point probably. Anyways, Silver lining, says Joe. Yes, exactly. Feeling bad a lot of the time is just life, says Samantha. Yeah. I mean, that too. Anyways, speaking of feeling bad, I feel bad about this, but I think I'm gonna have to call it there for the day. I realize we haven't finished this painting, but that's okay. We'll come back to it on Monday. And get a lot more of it done. I think I like the way that it's going so far. It's obviously very incomplete, so it's hard to tell, but the granulation on these paints and these colors, it's real pretty. It's real pretty, and it's already doing somewhat sort of things I'm not quite predicting, which is really, really fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of the ways it super granulates. I was not expecting all of this. I genuinely thought that Deep Sea Violet was going to be bluer than it was, because the packaging and the sample swatch that I got for it was so blue. But it is genuinely, I would say, a quite, sort of blue-ish violet with slightly sort of pinky browny undertones. Very strange. I would say Shire Blue and Deep Sea Violet are the two most interesting colors in terms of sort of the way that they behave and the colors that appear. But these three are also really gorgeous. And I'm looking forward to getting to use more of them next time. We need to try Super Caster Paint next to see how different it is. Ooh. Ooh. There's this magic ink that Culture Hustle put out recently that I was kind of intrigued by, because I think it's something to do with it's affected by temperature or something. It's weird. Anyways, I ended up not buying it because I'm like, I can't afford more art supplies. I've got too many already. And I just bought these and I hadn't tried them yet, so I didn't get it. But I saw someone working with it. It is very interesting paint. But I'm really enjoying these so far. I think that hopefully they're gonna make a really lovely little landscape / cozy little guy situation. So we'll see. But let me see if I can find someone for us to do a little raid on. Shall I? Ooh, I believe I shall. Now, right, let me take a little look-see and see who's online that we might do a little raid on. Who's someone maybe that we haven't raided in a little while? Ooh, okay, hold up. I wonder what they're doing. If I can... Sorry, my computer's being very slow and chuggy at the moment, but... I think... Okay, so Yufa's doing some makers and crafting. Ooh! Cross-stitch! Oh, hell yeah! Stardew Valley cross-stitch, yes. Yes, we are going to the land of Stardew Valley cross-stitch. This is a land of eggs. There's a lot of eggs on this stream if you like eggs. If you like fun times, Youth is really lovely. And is doing a Stardew Valley cross-stitch, which is absolutely delightful. So I'm going to get a generic raid message in the chat for y'all. Let's just get Anana just sliding on in to say hello. If you have the emotes, feel free to grab the raid message with the emotes. If you don't have the emotes, you could just say generic raid message, or feel free to pop in any emotes that you would like to. Regardless, I'm gonna go make some gnocchi. I'm gonna thank you all so much for hanging out with me today in a very strange but very fun stream, I hope. I've really enjoyed playing with these paints, and I look forward to actually completing a piece with them next week. I will be back tomorrow morning playing some Hollow Knight, and I'll be back again on Sunday playing the Snufkin game, which I'm very, very excited for as well. Regardless, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you so much to Mark for the raid. It's been lovely hanging with y'all. You're all breathtaking, and I hope to see you again soon. And thank you so much for watching, and have a good one, everybody. Goodbye, and good night.